Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 445 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's KB coming at you solo dolo for another episode of the podcast. We got a lot to dive into between the Phillies, the Eagles, oddly enough, and some housekeeping news to keep you guys tuned in with what's going down in the underground over the next couple of days this week. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI on Twitter, Instagram. We're doing a giveaway on our Twitter. It's our pinned tweet. We're giving away issue number 22 of the new Wolverine comic with the variant Brian Dawkins cover. It looks badass. Go check that out. Our pinned tweet at Underground PHI on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Check out our website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You guys have been downloading the shit out of the audio version of the podcast lately, which means a ton to us. So go download the podcast, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, unsubscribe and resubscribe to play with the algorithm. Apple, Spotify, and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. You do get an extra entry into our comic book giveaway if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. And we are doing a giveaway on the Outside the Box Twitter account that you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So go subscribe. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia. We can't get that custom link to make it so it's just youtube.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia until we get to 1,000 subscribers. We are at 149 right now. Come on. I know there's an army of Underground Sports listeners out there that just need to subscribe to the YouTube. So hit the like button, click the bell icon, comment down below, be a friend, tell a friend, share the video with your peeps, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shout out to the sponsors who make this show happen: Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro, Foot Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, Mark Ronchetti CPA LLC, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. Go to tomahawkshades.com. Use our code USP for 25% off your order at checkout. That's tomahawkshades.com. Promo code USP for 25% off your sunglasses, blue light glasses, prescription lenses, and everything in between. TomahawkShades.com. Code USP. Kenwood Beer. Go to kenwoodbeer.com and use that Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so, and of course, please drink responsibly. Let's get into it. The Philadelphia Phillies, they just keep winning series, ladies and gentlemen. They just keep on winning. They've won, I believe it's 8 out of 10 series since Rob Thompson took over as the interim manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. They are playing in a wraparound series that wraps up tonight as I record this a little bit later. I'm recording this on Monday, so you guys are going to get this right after I'm done recording. But they kick things off at 7:15 for the final game against the Cardinals. The series should have already been won. They should have won on Sunday, but they ended up losing 4-3. But they just continue to win. They continue to do the damn thing. They're still in third place, behind 6.5 games of second place and 7 games out. Or I'm sorry, 5.5 games out of second place and 7 games out of first place. But the Mets, they've been squandering a bit. The Braves are hot. I'll admit that. But the Phillies are 46-40, looking good right now. They're 24-21 at home, 22-19 on the road. Got a big road trip coming up where they're not going to have some key pieces, though. As it was announced today, Aaron Nola, JT Realmuto, Alec Boehm, and Kyle Gibson will be unavailable for the Toronto road trip. Luckily, it's only 2 games that they will not have them. That starts tomorrow on Tuesday, and they have a game Wednesday night as well before an off day, before they head down to Miami. Obviously, those 4 guys are unavailable to go to Toronto due to their vaccination status, which is absolutely ridiculous at this point. Can't believe we're still dealing with this bullshit with them. We kind of knew 2 of those 4 last year. Didn't really know Kyle Gibson's status since he was traded here mid-season, but those 4 will be out for 2 games. They forfeit pay, they forfeit service time. I don't know. That's kind of ludicrous to me to willingly do that. Is beyond me. But that's the case right now with the Phils. The other big case is that the Phillies got snubbed of having 2 of their pitchers in the All-Star game. Zack Wheeler and Aaron Nola both snubbed from going to Los Angeles. Kyle Schwarber is in, rightfully so. He's like leading the National League in home runs, and I think he's still only behind Aaron Judge for the lead in home runs in all of baseball. I'm going to double check that now because I don't really know where Judge stands with home runs. Judge has 30 home runs. Kyle Schwarber has 28. So Kyle Schwarber leading the National League and just 2 home runs behind Aaron Judge for the Major League Baseball lead, as Pete Alonso has slowed down vigorously from his home run tirade. I'm of the belief, with Kyle Schwarber playing as well as he is at the plate hitting-wise, I'm terrified of Schwarber being in the home run derby. Like, yes, it would be fun. Yes, it would be electric if Kyle Schwarber is in the home run derby to just pop off and hopefully get the Phillies another big-time win. But we touched on this on Wednesday. I'm nervous as hell if Kyle Schwarber is going to be in the home run derby because I don't want it to affect his swing, and then we have a messed up swing Kyle Schwarber for the rest of 2022. It makes me nervous. It makes me very nervous if Kyle Schwarber is in the home run derby. But Zack Wheeler being snubbed from the home run derby, Aaron Nola being snubbed from the home run derby is super unfortunate. I'm going to pull up the all-star rosters right here with who made it and everything. Obviously, each team has to have at least one representative per squad. So that it sucks. Check. It sucks that those guys can't be in the game, but who knows? You know, there's typically the moments where guys pitch over the weekend and then are ineligible to pitch in the game. So we'll see here. Let's see. The all-star rosters here look like this. Your American League starters: Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Blue Jays, Jose Altuve for the Astros, Rafael Devers for the Red Sox, Tim Anderson for the White Sox, Aaron Judge for the Yankees, Mike Trout for the Angels, Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees, and then Shohei Ohtani for the Angels. Your National League starters: Wilson Contreras for the Cubs, Paul Goldschmidt for the Cardinals, Jazz Chisholm Jr. for the Marlins, Manny Machado for the Padres, Trey Turner for the Dodgers, and hopefully future Philly Trey Turner. Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Braves, Mookie Betts for the Dodgers, Jock Peterson for the Giants, and then the very first voted in National League designated hitter, Bryce Harper. Unfortunately, will not be playing in the game due to his injury, but Bryce does get voted in, which is very, very cool to see. Your American League reserves: Jose Trevino from the Yankees, Luis Arias from the Twins, Xander Bogaerts from the Red Sox, Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Guardians, and Andres Jimenez from the Guardians. George Springer for the Blue Jays, Byron Buxton for the Twins, future Philly Andrew Benintendi for the Royals, Kyle Tucker for the Astros, Julio Rodriguez for the Mariners, Yordan Alvarez for the Astros. The National League reserves: Travis d'Arnaud for the Braves, Nolan Arenado for the Cardinals, Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil from the Mets, C.J. Cron for the Rockies, Dansby Swanson for the Braves, Kyle Schwarber for the Phillies, Juan Soto for the Nationals, Starling Marte also for the Mets, Ian Happ for the Cubs, and William Contreras for the Braves. And then your legacy player for the National League, Albert Pujols, and your legacy player for the American League is Miguel Cabrera. The pitchers for the American League: Shane McClanahan for the Rays, Nestor Cortez for the Yankees, Alek Manoah for the Blue Jays, Framber Valdez for the Astros, Martin Perez for the Rangers, Paul Blackburn for the A's, Justin Verlander for the Astros, Garrett Cole for the Yankees, Shohei Ohtani for the Angels, Clay Holmes for the Yankees, Emmanuel Clace for the Guardians, Gregory Soto for the Tigers, and Jorge Lopez for the Orioles. The National League pitchers: Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins, Corbin Burns for the Brewers, Luis Castillo for the Reds, Max Fried for the Braves, Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers, Joe Musgrove for the Padres, Edwin Diaz for the Mets, Josh Hader for the Brewers, Ryan Helsley for the Cardinals, David Bednar for the Pirates, and Joe Mantiply for the Diamondbacks. Luis Castillo getting in, and I know every team needs to have at least one player in. One, I would have just sent Joey Votto. I don't care. But Luis Castillo getting in over Zack Wheeler bothers me big time, and I just am starting to believe that Major League Baseball has a vendetta against Zack Wheeler. That is where I'm getting at. They snub him from being able to be the starter last year in the All-Star game because Dave Roberts was being manipulative and started Max Scherzer so that he could go and get him via trade from the Nationals. How'd that work out for you, Dave? And then now, after that, Zack Wheeler does not win the Cy Young, loses out to a guy who pitched way less innings than him, and, Zack Wheeler's stats were far better for pitching more innings. And now he just gets completely snubbed from the All-Star game altogether. I'm hoping that, one of these guys pitches in a wraparound, towards the weekend, and Zack Wheeler gets to pitch because he's absolutely earned it. Like, looking at Zack Wheeler's stats this year, I'm going to read them off to you guys so you kind of get an idea of what we're working with here from our ace. Zack Wheeler this year, guys, has a 3.2 wins above replacement. He is 8-4 with a 2.46 ERA in 16 games. He's pitched 95 innings, has 104 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.05. Where that stacks up against his career stats, his career ERA is a 3.42. His career whip is a 1.21. He's having a fantastic season and arguably a better year than he did last year. And now he's not an all-star? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Absolutely ludicrous that Zack Wheeler's not an all-star. And that is where I am beginning to question Rob Manfred, and I'm beginning to question Major League Baseball, and I'm beginning to question the powers that be. What do you have against Zack Wheeler? What does Major League Baseball have against Zack Wheeler leaving the Mets, going to the Phillies, and becoming a better player? Because ever since he's gotten here, he has not been awarded for the better player he's become. And I truly just think Major League Baseball has a vendetta against Zack Wheeler. And I'm willing to go to war for my boy, go to battle for Zack Wheeler until the end of days, because he's one of the best free agent signings that the Phillies have had in team history, and yet here we are, snubbing the guy of all the accolades that he deserves. Rightfully so. I need answers why Zack Wheeler continues to get snubbed, continues to get disrespected for being one of the best pitchers in baseball since he's gotten to Philadelphia. He was obviously a very good pitcher when he was with the Mets, but he's gotten that much better since he came here. Like, he has been one of the best free agent acquisitions the Phillies have ever had. And that includes Cliff Lee, that includes going out and signing guys like Raul Ibanez, like going out and getting a whole bunch of guys. Like, I'm going to list off the Phillies free agents all time. Best all-time Phillies free agents. I didn't even mention Bryce Harper there. Jim Thome, Placido Polanco, Pedro Feliz, Bryce Harper, Jason Worth, Raul Ibanez. I don't think Roy Halladay was a free agent. Cliff Lee, Zack Wheeler has been phenomenal. JC Romero was another great, signing there as well. But, Zack Wheeler is in the pantheon of like top 3 best free agent signings of all time. I think it's Bryce Harper, or, Cliff Lee, Bryce Harper, Zack Wheeler. And 2 of those have come within the last 4 years. That's insane to think about. And yet, Major League Baseball continues to, snub Zack Wheeler and unlawfully, keep things away from him in terms of accolades, and it's just not right. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that Zack Wheeler continues to get snubbed, continues to get disrespected for being a damn good pitcher, and he should absolutely be an all-star. And, no offense to Luis Castillo, potentially future Philly, Zack Wheeler deserves to be an all-star over him. I think Zack Wheeler deserves to be an all-star over Clayton Kershaw. I know Clayton Kershaw is only in the all-star game because it's in LA for the first time in a gazillion years, but it sucks that Zack Wheeler's being punished for semantics and stupidity. And I really wish that Zack Wheeler would be appreciated by the masses and not just by Philadelphia alone. But we will always cherish and love Zack Wheeler because he deserves it. And I want to find this. There was a tweet that put out the All-Star roster if it was just calculated by FWAR. I meant to pull this up earlier. Let's see. I don't remember who put this out. Oh, here we go. Foolish Baseball. This is from... Here's what the All-Star Game would look like if rosters were decided by F4 through July 9th. It'd be Wilson Contreras, Paul Goldschmidt, Tommy Edman, Manny Machado, Dansby Swanson, Mookie Betts, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Bryce Harper, Garrett Cooper replaces Bryce Harper, Alejandro Kirk, Jose Abreu, Jose Altuve, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Julio Rodriguez, Yordan Alvarez, Shohei Ohtani replaces Yordan Alvarez. Pitchers, Carlos Rodon, Sandy Alcantara, Max Fried, Zack Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Corbin Burns, Joe Musgrove, Ryan Helsley, Edwin Diaz, AJ Minter, David Bednar, Alex Colomé, Kevin Gausman, Shane McClanahan, Justin Verlander, Shane Bieber, Dylan Cease, Martin Perez, Tariq Skubal, Alek Manoah, Frankie Montas, Michael King, Clay Holmes, Jason Adam, Emmanuel Clace, and then your reserves would look like this: Travis d'Arnaud, Freddie Freeman, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Nolan Arenado, Austin Riley, Brandon Drury, which is a name I have not seen in a long time, Trey Turner, Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Ian Happ, Kyle Schwarber, Dalton Varsho, William Contreras, Jose Trevino, Luis Arias, DJ LeMahieu, Jose Ramirez, Alex Bregman, Jeremy Pena, Corey Seager, Kyle Tucker, Taylor Ward, Cedric Mullins II, Andrew Benintendi, and Byron Buxton. So, I mean, am I becoming a believer in F-War? Do I believe F-War is the best stat of all time right now? Yeah, I do. For this purpose, yes, F-War would mean the Phillies have more All-Stars that deserve to be in. I mean, you look at Aaron Nola's stats this year, and even though he can be a complete bozo and a complete doofus, Aaron Nola this year has a 3.4 WAR, which is, I forget if that was higher than Zack Wheeler or not. Yeah. Wheeler has a 3.2. Nola has a 3.4. Nola has a 5-6 record because the Phillies can never score any fucking runs when he's on the mound. But he's 5-6 with a 3.15 ERA, better ERA than his career ERA. In 17 games, 111 and a third innings pitched and 120 strikeouts, and his WHIP is below 1. He's got a .925 WHIP. His career whip is a 1.135. That, to me, deserves all-star candidacy, if I've ever seen it. You know, he's on pace to pitch more innings than he ever has. He's only given up 39 earned runs this year in 17 games, which the least amount of earned runs he's given up in his career was 2018 when he gave up 56. And that was the year that he was an all-star. He was a Cy Young candidate and an MVP candidate. I just think both guys got snubbed, and I don't understand the hate that the Phillies are getting. Maybe it's because they're in third place. Maybe it's because Aaron Nola has a losing record, which wins and losses should not be a full-blown determining factor of how good a pitcher is. But here we are. But Kyle Schwarber's going to the All-Star game. It looks like Pete Alonso and Ronald Acuna Jr. will be in the home run derby, which is exciting. Both of them are electric players in the home run derby, especially Pete Alonso. It's all he does well is play in the home run derby. But if Kyle Schwarber plays, maybe you get, somebody from the Marlins, maybe you get somebody from the Nationals, maybe Juan Soto comes in and plays, have a whole NL East home run derby. That'd be kind of sick. But I am nervous if Kyle Schwarber is in the home run derby, to say the very least, because I don't want his swing to get messed up. But that's just me. Phillies keep winning series, win this game against the Cardinals on Monday, go win games against the Blue Jays, and then please, for the love of all that is holy and for the love of Christ, take 2 out of 3 from the Marlins in Miami. Let's right the ship a little bit and have some positivity going into the All-Star break. The Eagles in the news because apparently people don't like Jalen Hurts again. Bleeding Green Nation, notorious for putting out, negativity pieces in terms of, people not being comfortable with quarterbacks. According to Derek Gunn, the Eagles are, quote, not very comfortable right now with Jalen Hurts as their starting quarterback. Why? It is July. Why are we concerned about this? Philadelphia's quarterback has much to prove to those both inside and outside the organization. I truly don't get this. Apparently on Jacob Media's Sports Take show with Rob Ellis, Barrett Brooks, and D. Gunn, Derek Gunn says, I know it's a controlled environment, and like I tell you guys all the time, I don't get too hyped about OTAs, minicamp, and even training camp because it's controlled. But when I asked a few people back in late May about where Jalen Hurts was in his progress, one person said, let me just give you a scenario of what went through in 1 day of practice. It's a 10-play scenario. He had 3 picks, 4 incompletions, and 3 sacks. That was his 10-play series, okay? And I followed up with, so what are you thinking? And the answer was the direct answer was, he's got a ways to go, and that's not very encouraging when you hear all this offseason news about how he's working with this new quarterback guru, he's working on his mechanics, he has a second-year Nick Sirianni's playbook. Barrett Brooks says, this is OTAs when you heard that. Yes, this is OTAs from Derek Gunn. I hate that you told me that, Gunner, and I don't want to believe it, and you just said it verbatim, so I know you're not lying to me. Yes, so you heard the same thing? Brooks, yes, I did. See, okay, so you know what I'm talking about, and I've said this on the record many times. I first and foremost want to see Jalen Hurts succeed because of all the negativism out there. I don't even think negativism is a word, but I could be wrong. You hear about him right now, he sucks. You hear more that he sucks than he's the quarterback, the answer, and because of how this young man carries himself, I want to see him succeed because of that. But when I get this breakdown on him, I'm like, if he's doing this in a controlled environment, what's he going to do when he's got to make decisions in a fraction of a second because he's not going to play much in the preseason? You can forget that. Rob Ellis says, not at all. I'm with you. I've had this internal struggle because you want this guy to succeed if he's on your team. He's the kind of human being. He's that kind of person, but blah, 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 blah. This is the dumbest shit ever. Like, that we're talking about. This is like, we're talking about OTAs, and it's a bad day of practice. We're talking, like, quote Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We're talking about OTAs. We're talking about a controlled environment. We're talking about just like a bad day at the workplace. Everybody has a bad day at work. We're talking about fucking practice, and we're taking this word. And yes, Derek Gunn is very good at his job. Derek Gunn would not lie about things. But we're talking about OTAs in the beginning to mid-July, and we're talking about things that happen in May. Why are we worried about what a quarterback is doing in practice in May and in July? I tweeted this earlier. I said, if you're worried about summer football, NFL, quote-unquote, news, it's absolute lunacy. It's absolute lunacy to be worried and concerned right now on July 11th about news about the Philadelphia Eagles. And shout out to A.J. Brown. He tweeted, in a 10-play series, Jalen threw 3 TDs to me. Donovan McNabb and T.O. fought the other 4 plays. Vince Papale came out of retirement and had the other 3 receptions. Absolute legend. Shout out to A.J. Brown. Hasn't even played a snap for this team yet in a regular season game, and he's already my dog. He's been my dog since he was in Tennessee. But I love A.J. Brown for putting that out there, because that's just absolutely incredible shit. Lane Johnson replied with #truth. It's just absolutely bonkos that we have this to be out there in July. It just drives me absolutely up a wall. I don't understand it. It makes zero sense to me why people are even worried about Jalen Hurts in practice, in OTAs. Like, he can't even get... There's no contact in OTAs. What the fuck are we talking about? I just can't stand the constant... This is a thing across the NFL, and it's why, like, when the NFL season ends, I take such a big breath of fresh air, because it's like such a sigh of relief. Because everyone wants every little thing in the NFL to be a fucking story, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we don't have to turn every little piece of information we get into this full-blown media event. And that is such an NFL thing, and it's the stupidest fucking shit ever. And it's what drives me nuts about media members in the NFL. They got to take any little morsel or breadcrumb they get about anything and try to turn it into like a Pulitzer Prize winning story and try to, sway fans one way or another. You're like I said, Derek Gunn is very good at his job, but you're telling me they weren't trying to do all that shit for clicks to get shit turning around on the internet? Get the fuck out of here with that. It's just unbelievable to me that, like, people are taking this as gospel in the month of July. Yes, again, I'll say until I'm blue in the face, Derek Gunn's very good at his job, but I'm throwing this shit out the window. Like, there's no shot that anybody should be taking this story as gospel, as something to be concerned about, as something that is like a truth. We're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice of a 23-year-old NFL quarterback who just got the first opportunity to start in the NFL last year and is going into his second year as a starter for the first time with the same coaching staff. Miss me with the bullshit, everybody. Miss me with the bullshit. There's no need to be like up in arms about all this stuff in July. If that shit's happening in a 10-play sequence in November, then we have cause for concern. But if it's happening in July, during OTAs, during training camp, during practice, I'm not concerned. That shit does not bother me. It shouldn't bother you. You should not be taking all of this stuff that gets accumulated and told to people, allegedly, as word, as gospel, as set in stone. This is what this guy is. He's 23. This is his second full year starting coming into it. 2022 will be his second full season starting at quarterback in the NFL. This is his second full season with this coaching staff. He finally has weapons around him, has the best offensive line in football, and you guys are worried about what's happening in practice? That would be like me walking into your job, seeing you having a bad day, writing it down, and then go spewing it out on a conference call to your job's like corporate meeting for managers or something that week and saying, "Oh, Billy over there, he wasn't bagging the groceries properly. He was pretty slow getting the groceries in the bag for the customers. Pretty slow at sliding the rewards card there. Didn't punch in the discounts at a pace that was too good. He missed scanning something on the first try." That's what we're talking about here. That is the exact equivalent of what we're talking about when it comes to talking about Jalen Hurts' performance in OTAs. It's unbelievable to me that people are like just taking and running with that. And leave it to Bleeding Green Nation to run with it and try to, just cause more hysteria in this fan base, because that is exactly what they're known for. Who knows? What we got going on this week in the Underground, guys? Well, on Wednesday night, we'll have our regular live show on Twitch, twitch.tv/undergroundsportsphi, with myself and Matt, that you guys can always watch live. And then after that, I'll be taking myself to Episcopal Academy in Philadelphia, and I'll be hanging out with the Shootout for Soldiers crew. They are a 24-hour lacrosse event, nonprofit, that they're looking to raise money for veterans in the lacrosse community and everything. So Wednesday night, I will be there. We're going to be doing on-site interviews. I'm going to be hanging out with my boy Robbie Seeley, doing some content, and I'm very excited. It's going to be a ton of fun from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Wednesday into Thursday, I should be there hanging out at Episcopal Academy. You can register teams. We tweeted the link out on our socials, so check that out. They're trying to reach a big-time goal of 100K. Let's get there. Philly, we're slacking, to be honest. Looking at every other city that they've gone to this summer, Philadelphia is slacking. So we need to get on that. Help them out. They're awesome friends of the program. They support what we're doing, so it's the least we can do when they're in our backyard to go out and support the Shootout for Soldiers crew. So shout out to them for having us there. Very excited to be filming some content there, doing some interviews with some of the veterans that will be playing in the games and stuff like that. So stay tuned for those. Those should be airing crossed with our main show and with Outside the Box. So tune into that. Also on Saturday, we will be on site for Jameel Demby's youth football camp, the third annual Jameel Demby camp, filming, doing content for the docuseries, Just a Kid from Vineland, that will be on our YouTube channel once, we get some more footage and everything, but this is another piece of that. So we will be at Jameel's camp, hanging out with Jameel this coming Saturday, July 16th. For his youth football camp. Very excited to be kicking it with the boy. And as I record this today, 2 or 3 years ago, actually 4 years ago, I think it was, 3 or 4 years ago, Jameel was in studio for the very first time, hanging out with us. And, Jameel's been a massive, piece of the Underground Sports Philadelphia history, and his support has gone beyond words. So we're very excited to be hanging out with him and doing some more content with him to, help raise his brand up. He's helping us raise our brand up and just building this rocket ship to the moon together. So we'll be at Jameel's camp on Saturday. We'll be at Shootout for Soldiers Philly on Wednesday night. And as always, you guys can check us out on the socials at UndergroundPHI on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow me at KBIZZL311 on Twitter. Enter our giveaway for the Brian Dawkins variant cover of Wolverine number 22 pinned on our Twitter account. Winner gets announced on August 8th. Of course, check out our website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. wherever you get your podcasts, leave those 5-star ratings and reviews, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Hit the like button, click the bell icon so you don't miss a single video that we upload. Be a friend, tell a friend. Share the videos, share the channel with people. We're trying to grow this YouTube channel because this is the next installment of how we get this thing cooking to the moon. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You get full video episodes of every single Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast on our YouTube channel. Plus, the UBL, the Bino League, definitely coming very, very soon to the YouTube channel. That you don't want to miss that. Shout out to Bino. Use promo code USP for 10% off your order at binoboard.com. Big thank you to our sponsors, Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, Mark Ronchetti CPA LLC, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Tomahawk Shades, Kenwood Beer, Pickup, and Bino Board. All their information is linked in the show notes on audio and in the description below on YouTube. Use our promo codes, help support our sponsors, and all that good jazz. We'll be back on Wednesday night, twitch.tv/undergroundsportsphi. We hope you'll join us. But this has been episode number 445 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB, and until next time, I'm getting the heck out of here and signing off. Peace.